Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. This is Hasper TV here. Sorry, Harry from Hasper TV here. And yeah, here we talk about Dele Ali. So I haven't actually done a video on this. I planned to do it before, but unfortunately didn't happen until now. Yeah, so as you all watched the Sky Sports interview, Dele Ali came out and said, you know, he went through mental health and that sort of thing. And I just want to talk about how kind of like important mental health is. And if you look at Dele Ali's trajectory as like a person, it kind he dealt with a lot of real life shit. Obviously, what happened when he was younger, and as a result, he had to cope with it in a certain way. And obviously, he tried to push away those thoughts or feelings, whatever you want to put it, for a number of years. And then eventually, it kind of caught up back to him, right? So I think what we can learn from Dele Ali is that you kind of need to confront your fears. I don't know if that's the right statement, but like instead of shying away from the actual problem and putting like a band-aid on it, like he was taking sleeping pills. Of course, he did them initially as to sleep, but eventually got addicted to them. But he was doing it, as he said, sort of like to cope with the mental health he was suffering. And obviously, it was damning to hear that under Mourinho, when Mourinho basically dropped him, he said that he felt like he couldn't really play again, which at 24 was crazy to think, if you think about that. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, mental health is really important. Obviously, a number of other Spurs YouTubers have spoken a bit about this. Mental health is a big thing. But I think for footballers, if you look at the Ali situation, it's a case of sort of young players not being monitored in the sense of not just their habits, just their well-being. Because I can imagine it's quite a big jump going from where he came from, MK Dons, to Tottenham, and then being like one of the stars, the biggest stars in England, biggest stars in Europe at that time, 2017 and 18, arguably. And obviously, to me, what was very good was that he actually admitted that he doesn't blame anyone else, and it's all down to him to fix this or whatever. And obviously, let's hope Dele Ali gets back to how he was before. I think with these things, what people need to understand, this is personal experience. Sometimes it can take time, but this seems to me more like a start for him. So maybe at Everton, after a few months, he might start playing games again, just off the bench first of all, I think, and eventually once he gets himself in mentally in the right place. Because to me, this felt when I was watching that video like it was a start. Like he's been to the rehab, of course, and he's come out. He's probably learned a few things about himself and what triggers him and that sort of stuff. But in general, mental health is actually really important, and I think it was very good that he came out and said what he said. And I just want to apologize as well because before I end this video, that I was one of those people who slated Dele Ali a lot, especially during that time period, because I just wanted him to leave. And obviously, someone told me actually before about the sleeping pills, but at the time, in 2021, I didn't really believe it, to be honest. And obviously, you don't really know about the player's background, but obviously, some people clamoring him to come back to Tottenham. I think that's a bit too far, but we just have to hope that Dele gets back to where he was mentally first, I think. And this was kind of like a start for him, that video. That's what it felt like to me, at least. And hopefully, maybe we'll see him playing football properly again in the next season at some point. And like I said, I think they'll probably ease him back into the side at Everton. And maybe the fact that he might be like a main man in that team under Sean Dyche, because Everton do need an attacking midfielder if you look at their midfield. And maybe he'll get a chance and he'll get back to where he was. But yeah, big up to Dele Ali. And like I said, mental health is very, very, very important.